Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be restoring, cleaning, revitalizing this old leather handmade wallet. This was a piece I came upon at the bins, which if you guys don't know, it is essentially the Goodwill outlet is another name for it. I think it's the term that Goodwill uses for it. Anyways, I found this wallet. It was in a picked over bin. Nobody wanted it. And I kind of grabbed it and felt that it was pretty heavy, nice leather. It looks like it's handmade. It doesn't have any brand name on it. And it looks like it has had some use, but it's still overall in really good condition. The quality is really nice. I don't know for sure what kind of leather this is, but it does feel thick, feels very durable. And so I thought for sure somebody would want to buy this, but it does need a little bit of a cleanup job. So we're gonna do kind of our usual treatment of it. So we are going to use my favorite Lexol 1 and 2 step shampooing first, clean off that leather of any grime, grease, dirt that has accumulated on it, and then next we'll use this conditioner to really get that leather nice and buttery, smooth and soft again, and add a layer of protection. Next we're going to use some of my Doc Martens Balsam, Wonder Balsam leather treatment, and then we'll see what things look like. So let's get started. So to start things off, I want to I take a little bit of water kind of in a lid like this, and then I use this all leather cleaner and just kind of get some good amount in there. And then I just use kind of an old toothbrush and really like mix that up in there, and then just start going to town. If it's possible, I would recommend that you get kind of a softer bristle brush, kind of like this. There are lots of toothbrushes out there. Obviously, if you're starting new and you're looking for something from the store, I would recommend like a toddler toothbrush or like denture toothbrushes. I think are kind of like the softest stuff out there. And they will get softer with time and use. So I have another dirty rag here, and I just kind of wipe off that first layer of stuff that I've brushed off, and you can kind of already tell there's a lot of gunk coming off of there. So it's working. This has probably had, honestly, feels like decades of use, and I don't really know what the underlying color of this is going to be ultimately, so I'm really interested to find out. But I think, you know, it'll be a really nice deep cognac-y looking color, so I'm really excited to see what that ultimately looks like. Sometimes I've come across things from the bins that have this coat on them that it's just like a yellow, brown, orangey residue, kind of like this when you try to clean it. And I've found that items that have been owned by smokers can tend to get these kind of layers of, I don't know if it's nicotine or smoke or what it is. Obviously those things come with like a smell that you can tell is there, and so I honestly just try to stay away from those things. I've kind of learned my lesson, and sometimes just no amount of cleaning will get that grime. Sometimes the grime will come off, but the smell kind of always just stays there. So I just decided that for myself. I'm not going to try to pick up those items. But I don't think that this was owned by a smoker. Obviously, there's no smell to it. Just looks like it's hasn't been cared for very well, or just kind of potentially forgotten in a box somewhere. Alright, so that's the outside of it. This looks like it also has kind of a lot of grime. Now, if you were restoring a similar item like this that, you know, maybe had some stains, or when all was said and done, you really felt like you weren't able to clean the leather to its original glory, a really good option is to dye it. And I have another video up where I go through the process of cleaning and preparing a wallet, a Gucci wallet, from red to black, and I think it turned out really well. Black is just such a great color to transition things to, and so, you know, I think if this just looked terrible despite the cleaning, I think dyeing it black would be a really great option. So just like another thing to consider, another option that you always have. And that video is like a really good tutorial, kind of a basic step-by-step way that you can go through and do that as another thing that you can try with your leather goods. And so I think with this item though, it really is just kind of has a very like boho chic vibe to it, and so I think it's okay that it's not going to be like perfectly, you know, colored and smooth leather everywhere. I think it's part of its appeal. And so I'm probably not going to dye this. I think it's going to end up looking really great from start to finish, with the kind of the imperfections that are in this leather. So, and those are probably going to be keywords that I'm going to use when describing this wallet. So in the areas that I've already gone, I can already tell the leather is kind of much more supple, and partially that's because it's just kind of wet right now. So I've gone through and done kind of the first coat of brushing, and so I am going to probably do that one more time because I feel like I got a lot of grime out and there's probably still some there. So let's get a fresh lid of water and leather treatment. All right, wash number 2. Coat number 2, still getting quite a bit of gunk out. Some of that might also be the leather dye that was used. So I'm just going to keep that in mind here. really feel like this area is kind of really dirty, but I think it just might be the imperfections of the leather, which is fine. I don't really know how to get this area very well. That kind of nubuck leather texture, so I'm not going to get too into that. I think the rest of this here is okay. So we are going to let this dry off for a little bit, and then we'll go on to the conditioning step. Alright, so I've given this a few minutes to dry out some of the wetter portions of the leather. It's still kind of a soft, supple texture because it's still wet, so I want to take advantage of that and go on to the next step with the conditioner here. So I've taken a clean rag and I'm going to just get a good dollop on there and just kind of go to town massaging that in there. And this is also going to take some of that, I don't know, dye at this point, like color. Maybe some more grime, because I'm sure I didn't get off all the little areas of it. But this is really getting that moisture into the leather. It's giving me a nice, deep, cognac-y brown color, which I love. So rich and deep, and it's just such a timeless color. I love black, but I'm a sucker for a good brown cognac color. I think you just really can't go wrong with it. Alright, we'll just do some more here. Sorry if you hear my dog. And a good guard dog. So again, I'm just gonna kind of stay away from that nubuck leather portion because I just don't really want to get this texture into it, and that's probably where people would hold their cards and money, and probably don't want to get those things all greasy. More there. I think I've kind of gotten some of that stain out right there. A little bit of scrubbing, get in all the nooks and crannies. Get the outside one more time. This is the area that's going to get the most beating. Just give this guy some extra love on the outside. I just love that leather work on there. Kind of looks like some grasses, some wheat or something. I don't know. It's really pretty though. You can just tell this was kind of just done handmade with tools at home. I just love that. Okay. All right. So we've done 2 coats of the conditioner. So we're just going to now let this dry. And then we'll come back and do the balsam step. All right, so we have left this guy to dry for a couple of hours. The leather is looking much nicer and smoother and more supple, And so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do the Wonder Balsam layer. This is that Doc Martens stuff that I keep telling you guys about. I really love it, Wonder Balsam. So I'm just going to kind of scoop out a little bit onto my finger. I like to just kind of dab it a little bit on the brush and just kind of get it a little evenly spread out. And then we are just going to give this guy a little love. And this brush is just really great. It has so many nice thick bristles, and they're thick, but then they're also very soft. So it really kind of just gets in there in all little nooks and crannies of your item. I've had this brush literally probably for like 3 or 4 years, and I mean, you'll never be able to tell. Granted, I don't use it every single day, so I'm probably a light user of it, but it's just stayed in such great condition. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more of that stuff, put it on the brush, just a little bit more, just kind of get in there. And it's just giving that leather just such a nice, deep cognac, buttery, smooth texture and color. I think that just looks really great. All right, so we're done with the first layer of the balsam. We're just gonna let that dry for a little bit. Might do one more coat. I think it just kind of is dependent on the product that you're using. I don't think you always have to do a second coat. So I'll let this dry and see what it looks like. But then the other thing I was thinking of doing with this guy is doing a coat of this Soulmate guard to just really give it a little bit more protection. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that outside because I don't really want to get that stuff sprayed indoors. And then I will come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so I've gone ahead and sprayed that stuff outside, and I'm really liking the mist spray of that spray. I feel like it really doesn't come on too streaky, although I think I did overdo it a little bit, and so you see that I have these kind of drops. I think you want to not have that happen, but it's okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and let that dry a little bit, and then I'll show you how everything looks. All right, guys, so we have let that coat of spray leather protector dry onto this wallet, and so this baby is good to go. So I am just taking a final look. Everything looks really great. Everything has been dry. It now is that nice buttery cognac brown color. So this baby is good to go. So I'm gonna get her listed on Poshmark and eBay and probably Etsy, because it's like that vintage handmade item that would go really well on there. And so we'll see how she does, and I'll link it down below so you can go check it out as well. All right, thank you so much for following along on this journey to restore this vintage handmade wallet. Please like and subscribe and share this video, and do check out some of my other videos. I'm trying to get as many views and subscribers as possible, and let me know if there's something else that you would like to see, and maybe I'll make a video of it. All right, thanks guys, bye.